I'm John Binnie, and I'm answering your questions today for asking the aliens. I have already set up a safe space. I am here in my camper van, so I'm keeping nice and quiet as it's early in the morning, and it also helps me focus my attention on your questions. The first question from Sunny Intuition is that you've heard that Lyrans can be blue like Arcturians due to some of the Lyrans having to live on Arcturus after Lyra was destroyed. Is this true? And I'm just asking my Lyran guide, Em Chal, to assist with answering these questions. Okay, so the first answer is yes. Some of them, the Lyrans, have integrated with Arcturus and they have a blue tinge to their skin. This is also true of Lyrans that have ventured to other aspects of this universe, and it also includes Lyrans that live on Earth have also adopted different colours, including green within their skin. And in terms of Lyra being destroyed, my guide laughed initially and said, "Oh, that's news to me." And I was shown that Lyra did not do what Gaia is doing. So Lyra instead allowed the third dimension of Lyra to be destroyed. And so many beings believed that the whole planet was destroyed, but in fact it was the fourth, fifth, and upward dimensions that continue to exist, but the third was destroyed. Okay, and the next question is, and I'm just scrolling down your questions. You're sharing that you had a really beautiful guide appear who's Lyran, and an Arcturian. Just really beautiful. Okay, so another question from Lola Herrera 6849. And saying thank you, beautiful beings, for all that you shared in the previous video. I do have a good question in case it works for next time, which is now. I don't have a great reference in my life of other beings, no Star Trek, no Star Wars, no science fiction, but I seem to connect, especially in this last year, with so many different beings. So my question is, why am I connecting to all those beings? Thank you for your question. And this answer that comes through at this time is that it is because all of these beings within you have a representation of themselves within you. And this starts within your DNA, but it also expands out to your physical and metaphysical aspects of you. And so when you're connecting with other beings, it's because in part you're hungry to connect what exists already within you to them. And they have worked with both the human race before in integration, hybridization, breeding programs, also helping us as spirit guides and also as real physical beings here on Earth, helping guide us through our lives. And so some of this for you is an echo of those past lives coming forwards into this life. And yes, I feel many more of us will be facing our guides physically and connecting with other beings more in person. Okay, so the next question is Melody Lamonde. John, are the lion animals, such as we share Earth with, consciously connected with Lyrans? How are they related? So I'm just going to ask. So I've shown first of all that yes, there is definitely a relation. And in fact, the lions here on Earth offer like the secrets, like the keys within their DNA for surviving here on Earth, for the Lyran genes to be able to survive here. And also I was shown that just like humans and monkeys have shared aspects of our DNA, so do the lions and Lyrans. You get to decide and discover which came first, but know that there has definitely been interconnectedness. And us as humans sometimes overlook that animals have their own spiritual beliefs. And so it's important to know that for the lions on Earth, that they have spiritual beliefs and that they also see the Lyrans as their ascended masters. And it's important to see this in many different beings across Earth. And the next question is from Sent L Salsa Girl. Do they deal with addiction? If yes, what types of things might they be addicted to? And happy holidays, everyone. Okay, let me just ask. Yes, addiction is common across almost all races. Addiction comes from lower vibration emotions, including fear. And I was first shown an addiction to bloodlust. I saw a Lyran addicted to killing and eating. And it was to like fulfill this lack feeling inside, and often to help mask and hide unhappiness. And so, yes, these are common across many galactic beings. And they said that my Lyran guide says that what's quite different to how we deal with addiction on Earth is that they spend a lot of time, especially during childhood, teaching their children about the root causes of addiction. And so they have far less addiction than you'd realize. So a lot of these, desires to mask, to hide, or to fulfill lack, or to fulfill self-love, these are things that they deal with. And so quite naturally, addiction begins to fall away, but it's not it's not always possible to eradicate. And another question from Sent L Salsa Girl. To clarify, Lyrans don't have schools like libraries psychically connect with. Yes. Let me just read that again. More questions. To clarify, the Lyrans don't have schools. Okay, full stop. More like libraries they psychically connect with. Yes. So it's more like homeschooling with their guides. The Lyrans hunt their food, animal and plant. Let me just ask your question. So my Lyran guide is saying we have a saying here on Earth, which is it takes a village to raise a child. And this is how Lyrans see schooling. It's much more parts of like ongoing training and learning. And it's not just one teacher, and it's not just within one building. And yes, they have libraries that they can connect with psychically. But there's also, I was shown like a lot of practical work that they do, a lot of hands-on work, helping others, going on like tasks and quests. Everything is designed to support their learning and to help them explore their own unique superpowers. So a little bit like homeschooling, and yet there's much more involvement from the other Lyrans in the towns and cities. Okay, and yes, there's hunting as part of that as well. And another question is, do all beings have others that they serve as guides for, or is it more like teachers who have 30 to 120 students that they see each day? So the short answer is there's just a very wide range of variations. It seems that uh, like guides can focus more energy on one being at a time, but there's no limit to how many beings that a guide can partner with or serve. And I also saw that in this respect, our spirit guides can be shared with others, and sometimes you might even meet, like I have, meet other people who have a shared guide with you, who that guide is working with also. Another question is, do they share what they harvest with elderly, children, and those who have been unable to hunt, or provide food to chefs? Pardon me. So it's funny that came out at the same time. I heard that they hunt for their pack, they hunt for their tribe. So it doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're able or not. This is hunting for each other. And yes, there is still an aspect of eating meat and hunting. Like it's a big part of their culture, but it's more ceremonial. And yes, there's a lot of ceremonies that do that. So they need to be, very, very efficient hunters. But I saw that there's also Lyrans who behave more like vegetarians, and although they still eat some meat and might even hunt from time to time, a lot of their food is more focused around plants, and their beliefs aren't so much like our vegans and vegetarians. They see plants just as equal as other animals and other creatures, and so it's more just like a choice of like taste. This is also because some of their galactic friends, so some of these like aliens, a bit like the grey aliens that we may be aware of, are also plant-based beings. So I guess it's bad news for people like me who are pescatarian. I eat fish and vegetables, but no other meats. And I love that they see every being as equal. What is their family structure like? Do they live with multiple generations in a home as some type of compound? I saw that they live. Their traditional way of living is as a pack, as a tribe or a pride, and they describe it more like a tribe because not everyone is connected by blood. That some are like friends, of the family. They become part of their tribe. And I saw them living in like a large circular hut, but there was a few of these. There was one big one which was always big enough for the whole tribe, like about 20 or 30 of them, and then they also had smaller, separate homes. And this was important, for example, when their young adults began to, go into what we would call marriage. And so that was really beautiful that they could, go and live separately for a while, and later they may choose to join the rest of the tribe again. Are there gender roles like females care for the young and old cook and clean, etc.? It seems that the only differences are that the males are the primary hunters, but hunting is, much less of their time now. It's much closer to like 10 or 20% of their time is hunting. And the females give birth. Everything else is equal, and I love that. And they feel like these two aspects, like the hunting, so it's like the killing and the birthing. These two aspects of male and female are the only things that make them different. I love that. Okay. Do males bring home food, fix things, and take care of transports? Yes, all those things, but so do the females. The children contribute to the family chores. Yes, they do. What is the typical lifespan? So those that seek longevity, including their spiritual path and taking great care of their bodies, can live as long as 700 years, and which blows my mind. And the average seems to be closer to about 300 years old. And do they diagnose and treat illnesses? Yes, but everything focuses on the heart. And I saw like one of the adults placing their paw on the heart of another. It's like a child who is ill, and they ask the heart what's wrong. They ask what challenges that Lyran is facing, and that's how they work on their diagnose. So it tends to be more about the root causes of emotions that are causing the illness, not the symptoms. They consider illnesses to be symptoms, all illnesses to be symptoms of emotional challenges. Do they have inoculations to travel between peoples? No, they don't. They don't require them. Do they have to deal with waste? Yeah, I was just shown that yes, they produce waste, but I saw them like they were digging with their paws into the ground. Like it felt like, we would describe a lot of our waste or our trash as landfill, that we'd bury it in the land, whereas they feel like it's a ceremony in itself, that they would rejoin like their waste, like their solid waste, like their poo, that they kind of dig a hole and they blend the waste in with the earth of Lyra, and they feel that that's like the rebirthing of that material and energy. Are they what we would consider to be industrialized, or live more tribal, tied to land existence? They are technologically highly advanced, and that it's a blend. So they never lost their cultures. They never lost their indigenous rituals and ceremonies, their beliefs and technology. They continually blend in. So even though I saw this big hut, that they have this like it's filled with technology, but it very much coexists with them and supports their lives. In some respects, it was quite hard to spot initially, but there was power, there was heating, there was running water, there was continuous, what would we call it, like 0 point energy, or unlimited energy supply, and then strong connection into ground, like physical grounding of the technology into the planet also. So yeah, thank you. That was just an amazing bunch of questions. Thank you so much for that. And we have one more. And this question is, do we have soul contracts with aliens, and do we have a past life as aliens? And this is from RP-UW1QU. RPU1QU. Okay, do we have soul contracts with aliens? We have soul contracts with any being. We are the aliens. Us humans are aliens to other beings, and vice versa. In this respect, we're all brothers and sisters from around this universe. And yes, we can form soul contracts with any being. Do we have past lives as aliens? Yes. And it also includes being alien on Earth. So what we would consider to be, for instance, a Lyran being here on Earth. And I know I have at least 2 Lyran past lives living here on Earth about 32,000 years ago, where Egypt is now located. Okay, and I'm just asking if there's any other questions or any other messages that my Lyran guide would like to share. Yes, these questions are good. Please keep them coming. It's very powerful. This is a preparation. This process that we're going through, the reason why I, John, feel so drawn to this is because there's some crows fighting outside. Yeah, the reason I'm drawn to this is because we are going through in 2025, going through quite rapid disclosure. So this is primarily sparked by a more like precursive, advanced fear program to make us scared of other alien beings. And very simply to draw, just like we experienced in the pandemics, to draw separation between us, to show both physically how they're different, how their technology is different, to breed fear into the possibility that because we can't control our galactic brothers and sisters, that somehow they're a threat. And that any time that we do this, I'm just being shown this with, he's doing this with his paw. He's saying like any time we make these connections to the things where we have themes in common, love for each other, loved ones, tribes, homes, this makes us feel more of that humanity, that unity with these other beings from around the universe. And this is what erodes the fear programs and eventually overcomes them. These fake alien invasions and encounters will be very impersonal, will be hiding behind technologies and designed to instill fear within us. And these contacts that we have, these conversations with our guides and the face-to-face contacts as we meet more and more of them in the flesh, this will also help support the unity. So the understanding that we both feel love, that all beings across this universe, no matter how dark or how light, have the capability of experiencing love. And so in this respect, we are one. We are one at least at that level, that connection of love. Okay. So I'm going to bring this to an end. I'd like to thank our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, every soul that's participated in today's session. As I step outside of the session bubble and I return it to the source or never return here again. Thank you so much, dear souls. Thank you for joining me in my camper van early in the morning here in England, and it's just been really beautiful. So thank you. Sending my love from England. Take care.